Yo, yo. I know it's late. Saturday night. Got this thing going on because I want to show you something. Christine, thank you. Coming on in with that moderation. Putting in the energy to help the brother out. I'm just texting a few people that I think might want to check this out real quick. All right, I sent it. All right, so Christine, you're in for a treat. You are in for a treat. Everybody else that comes in late, they're in for a treat too, but they're just gonna miss out on the start of it. So here we go. I have a copy of the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program Manual. This is very similar to the Army PSYOPs or psychological operations manual that I got a hold of some months back, which I think I need to go over some more. I think I'll just have a whole series where I just break the whole thing down, kind of like I did the Nipsey Hussle trial the other day. So we're gonna get right on into it. I just want to say real quick that what inspired this, Christine was gracious enough to do her thing and obtain a copy of the Buffalo Shooters Manifesto, which I would just love to show you guys tonight. I mean, that's what I really want to show you. It's 180 pages, but YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, they were probably all ban it anyway, since you damn near can't find a thing on the internet anyway. So anyway, I'll work out something where I can get that to you. But after looking it over, it made me think very, very hard about some of the things that a lot of us need to be doing. Victims of white supremacy, we need to be prepared. Okay, we need to be prepared for what's coming, for what's already been happening for quite some time. And I think I got to do my part in trying to help with that. So tonight we're going to start off. I'm going to read this for a couple of hours, probably. I'll probably get off around 11:30 Pacific time. So put down the beer, Stop messing around with the opposite sex and come on, get some of this constructive information. All right. So it says Department of the Navy, Headquarters, United States Marine Corps. Forward. Marine Corps' reference publication, MCRP 3-02B, Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, is designed for Marines to review and study techniques. Every time it says Marines, just think victims of white supremacy. Okay. And the reason why I chose Marines, by the way, my attempted father was a Marine. My attempted grandfather was a Marine. And I indirectly received some Marine Corps techniques and training, so to speak. But anyway, every time when you see Marine in here, just think of yourself. Okay. It's designed for Marines to review and study techniques after receiving initial training from a certified Marine Corps martial arts instructor or martial arts instructor trainer. It is not designed as a self-study or independent course. The true value of Marine Corps martial arts program is enhancement to unit training. Okay, well, maybe you better not think about yourself as a Marine here. But there may be some constructive information in here, I'm sure. The true value of Marine Corps martial arts program is enhanced to unit training. A fully implemented program can help instill unit esprit de corps and help foster the mental, character, and physical development of the individual Marine in the unit. This publication guides individual Marines, unit leaders, and martial arts instructors, instructor trainers in the proper tactics, techniques, and procedures of martial arts training. I lost my place. MCRP 3-02B is not intended to replace supervision by appropriate unit leaders and martial arts instruction by qualified instructors. Its role is to ensure standardized execution of tactics, techniques, and procedures throughout the Marine Corps. Although not directive, this publication is intended for use as reference by all Marines in developing individual and unit martial arts programs. For policy on conducting martial arts training, refer to Marine Corps Order, Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. Okay, so I'm going to skip down and say warning. Techniques described in this manual can cause serious injury or death. Practical application in the training of these techniques will be conducted in strict adherence with training procedures outlined in this manual, as well as by conducting a thorough operational risk assessment for all training. Okay, so don't try this at home. We're just gonna, this is just for, educational purposes. We're just going over this and taking a look at what's going on. Okay, I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. But looking at the contents, we got structure, belt ranking system, testing, martial arts instructor trainer, tactics and techniques, fundamentals of the Marine Corps martial arts program, ranges of close combat engagements, target areas of the body, weapons of the body, basic warrior stance, angles of movement, muscle relaxation, making a fist, weight transfer, rapid retraction, telegraphing, lead hand punch, rear hand punch, uppercut, hook, actions of the aggressor. We got front break fall, back break fall, side break fall, forward shoulder roll, and then bayonet techniques. That's when you attach the, I believe, a knife to a rifle. Straight thrust, horizontal butt stroke, vertical butt stroke, smash, slash, disrupt, upper body strikes, principles, hammer fist, eye gouge, vertical elbow strike, low to high, forward horizontal elbow strike, actions of the aggressor, lower body strikes, vertical knee strike, front kick, round kick, vertical stump, actions of the aggressor, introduction to chokes, rear choke, figure 4 variation, throw, actions of the aggressor, counter to strikes, counter to strikes, counter to rear hand punch, counter to the rear leg kick, counters to chokes and holds, counter to the rear choke, counter to the rear headlock, counter to the rear bear hug, unarmed manipulation, compliance techniques, distractor techniques, joint manipulation, wrist locks, arm bar takedown, armed manipulations, rifle and shotgun retention techniques, blocks, knife fighting, principles of knife fighting, vertical slash, vertical thrust. And we got a gray belt, bayonet, execution, movement, closing, bayonet techniques, disrupt and thrust while closing, upper body strikes, chin, jab, palm, heel strike, knife hand. So it looks like these are because then you got green belt. So as it looks like as the belts are dished out, they progress in levels. Okay, so we're gonna go on down. All right, the techniques are written for right-handed execution. To train left-handed, reverse the lefts and rights in the descriptions. To be truly proficient at all techniques, develop each technique both right-handed and left-handed. Strong side, weak side during sustainment training. Each technique has its general applicable safeties numbered in its introduction. The numbers correspond to the safeties listed in Appendix A. I just wanted to say that in my martial arts training, I learned how to use the left, right? So you can some people are under the impression that because you're right-handed, you can never be left-handed, or because you're left-handed, you can never be right-handed. This is not true. All you have to do is start doing the same things. If you're right-handed, start practicing. Just start doing the same things that you do with your right hand with your left hand. Okay, when you use your left hand, it's going to be, uncomfortable at first. It's going to be uncomfortable when you use left hand trying to do the same thing with your right hand, and it's going to be uncoordinated, right? Because you're not used to using it. But the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you'll get, right? Like I can write my name with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but I can write my name with my left hand just like I can with my right hand. When I write my name with my left hand, it's still not as good as my right hand because I haven't practiced to make my left hand as proficient as my right hand when I write. But I'm just giving you some examples to help you out. You know, you could do the same thing with drinking. If you use your right hand to drink a cup, start using your left hand to drink. If you eat with your right hand, start using your left hand, and vice versa. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, the focus of Marine Corps martial arts program is the personal development of each Marine in a team framework using a standardized, trainable, and sustainable close combat fighting system. As a weapon-based system, all techniques are integrated with equipment, physical challenges, and tactics found on the modern battlefield. The MCMAP is designed to increase the warfighting capabilities of individual Marines and units, enhance Marines' self-confidence and esprit de corps, and foster the warrior ethos in all Marines. Esprit de corps is like the spirit, motivation, enthusiasm. The MCMAP is a weapon-based system rooted in the credo that every Marine is a rifleman and will engage the aggressor from 500 meters to close quarter combat. What is 500 meters? That's another thing we got to be learning how to do is the metric system. Let's see. $546 yards. Wow. So a football field is 100 yards. So okay. That's a pretty good distance right there. Oh well, of course, I guess, if you have a rifle. The MCMAP is a weapon-based system rooted in the Credo. Okay, I read that part. The MCMAP enhances the Marine Corps' capability as an elite fighting force, provides basic combative skills for all Marines, applies across the spectrum of violence, strengthens the Marine Corps' warrior ethos. The motto of MCMAP best states the essence of the program: one mind, any weapon. Kind of reminds me of what my dad told me. Your mind is the most powerful weapon, right? And knowledge is the ammunition that goes into your weapon. This means that every Marine is always armed, even without a weapon. He is armed with a combat mindset, the ability to assess and to act, and the knowledge that all Marines can rely on one another. The Marine Corps was born during the battles that created this country. Drawing upon the experiences of first Marines, we have developed a martial culture unrivaled in the world today. This legacy includes not only our fighting prowess, but also the character and soul of what makes us unique as Marines. This training continued to evolve up to World War II. During these early years, the leadership and core value training that are our hallmark today developed in concert with the martial skills. As World War II burst open, man, what's going on? Let's see if I can get this right. As World War II burst upon the Corps, individuals and units were developing specialized training based upon experiences of Marines from the interwar years. This included exposure of Marines to Far Eastern martial arts systems such as judo and karate. These various systems, such as combat hitting skills, the O'Neill system, and those of the Marine Raiders, were employed by Marines during the island hopping campaigns. Additionally, the rapid expansion of the Marine Corps saw a refinement of character and leadership development programs. This trend continued after World War II through the post-Vietnam War period. Marines tested and refined new techniques adapted to the technologies and the innovation of a new generation of Marines. In response to societal changes after Vietnam, professional military education and structured leadership training became the focus during the 1970s and 1980s. The 1980s saw the development of the linear infighting neural override engagement system. The line system, developed in response to a perceived need for a standardized close combat system, was an important step in the evolution of the Marine Corps' special martial arts program. In 1996, a review of the line system, combat hitting skills, pugilistic stick training, and lessons learned from past programs were combined with the input of 10 subject matter experts from numerous martial arts disciplines to develop the Marine Corps' close combat program. This program combined all aspects of close combat into one program. In June 1999, Commandant James L. Jones detailed his vision of a martial arts program, and with his guidance, the close combat program underwent a period of testing and review that resulted in MCMAP. The MCMAP evolved into its present day form by combining the best combat tested martial arts skills and time honored close combat training skills with proven Marine Corps core values and leadership training. Structure. The MCMAP consists of 3 disciplines: mental, character, and physical. Each discipline is divided and presented systematically to Marines at each belt level. Those disciplines taught at lower belt levels are then reviewed and reinforced during follow-on training and at the next belt level. Many skills specific to one discipline reinforce the strengths of the other disciplines. Martial culture studies strengthen the mental character of Marines through the historical study of war, at the same time reinforcing the importance of character to a warrior and a martial society. What makes this a complete program is the synergy of all 3 disciplines, which are inextricably linked to each other and to the advancement process within the belt ranking system. Commanders are required to certify that the Marine meets annual training requirements and the prerequisites of each specific belt level and possesses the maturity, judgment, and moral character required for advancement. This ensures that as a Marine develops increased levels of lethality with additional physical skills, he also develops a commensurate level of maturity and self-discipline. Mental discipline. Mental discipline has 2 main components: warfighting and PME. That encompasses the following: warfighting, the study of the art of war; tactical decision-making training, the tactics, techniques, and procedures of expeditionary maneuver warfare; Marine Corps Common Skills Training, force protection and operational risk management; PME, the Professional Reading Program; martial culture studies, the historical study of war, the study of Marine Corps history, customs, courtesies, and traditions. Mental discipline creates a smarter Marine who is capable of understanding and handling the complexity of modern warfare. A Marine who is tactically and technically proficient. This training begins with the transformation at recruit training and serves as the foundation of the future leadership of the Corps. Character discipline. Character discipline encompasses the study of the human dimensions of combat and has 2 main components: the Marine Corps Core Values Program, which consists of honor, courage, and commitment, and the Marine Corps Leadership Training Program, which consists of mentoring and leadership schools and courses. This discipline is designed to instill the Marine Corps ethos into every Marine. Character discipline is the spiritual aspect of each Marine and the collective spirit of the Marine Corps. The components of the character discipline instill the warrior spirit in every Marine and emphasize the best traditions for developing esprit de corps, camaraderie, and a warrior mindset. By building the character of a Marine, the Marine develops as a warrior defender who embodies the core values and who is self-disciplined, confident, and capable of making the right decision under any condition, from combat to liberty. The proverbial ethical warrior. Physical discipline. Physical discipline consists of 2 main components: fighting techniques and the combat conditioning program. The fighting techniques are trained as part of MCMAP, a weapons-based system beginning at assault fire and moving to the 4 elements of the fighting component: rifle and bayonet, edged weapons, weapons of opportunity, and unarmed combat. All 4 elements have a role across the entire spectrum of combat. The various armed and unarmed combat techniques are combined with physical preparedness into the Marine Corps Combat Conditioning Program. It is the sinew of the Corps and prepares every Marine for his role as a basic rifleman. to seek out, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and movement, or repel his assault by fire and close combat. The Marine Corps' combat conditioning program is battlefield oriented, is based on being equipped for combat, and develops the Marines' ability to overcome physical hardship and physical obstacles under any climatic condition and in any geographical location. Is designed on the philosophy that there are no time limits, level playing fields, or second chances in combat. Develops a physical toughness in every Marine that will translate into mental toughness. Produces Marines who possess combat fitness and the ability to handle any situation that confronts them. Belt ranking system. The MCMAP consists of a belt ranking system with 5 basic levels: tan, gray, green, brown, and black belt. The colored belt levels are identified as user levels and are designed to progressively develop the physical skills and lethality of the individual Marine so that he becomes a stronger link in the Marine Corps chain. The user's responsibilities include participating in all technique classes, tie-ins, warrior studies, and sustaining techniques. Marines must also participate in the appropriate belt level drills and free sparring. Marines are responsible at all times for their individual actions and conduct. Okay, and here's they got a graph here. So tan belt conducted at entry level training, that's the beginning level, as part of the transformation process. Requires proficiency in basic techniques and a basic understanding of Marine Corps leadership and core values. Gray belt, follow on training after entry level. Builds on the basics with introduction to intermediate techniques. Requires mastery of tan belt techniques and proficiency of gray belt techniques, along with continued mental and character discipline training. Qualified to attend the instructor course and become MOS 0916. So basically what would happen is if the Marine that masters the tan belt would be tested on the skills and information that they learned as the tan belt in order to get that gray belt. And then if they're the gray belt, in order to get the green belt, their skill level. So it says skill level for the non-commissioned officers. Non-commissioned officers are like sergeants. Continued development of intermediate level training. Requires mastery of tan through gray belt techniques and proficiency of green belt techniques. Leadership and core values development training and PME requirements. Then you move from green belt to brown belt, and from brown belt to black belt first degree, and then from black belt first degree to black belt second degree through 6 degrees. Okay. Testing. Advancement in the belt ranking system includes meeting mental and character discipline requirements and the prerequisites for each belt level. Each Marine will be required to show that he has maintained proficiency in the physical disciplines of his current belt and the physical disciplines of the next belt level. Martial arts instructor. The martial arts instructor develops users at the small unit level and is responsible for teaching up to their own belt certification. An instructor teaches the physical techniques that are the building blocks of our physical discipline and develops a unit's character and mental training to positively influence cohesion, esprit de corps, and readiness. Martial arts instructor trainer. So I'm gonna go past that. We're gonna skip past the martial arts instructor stuff. Well, no, we won't. Let's look at this. I see this speed, achieving decision. We'll go to tactics and techniques. The MCMAP provides the individual Marine with a set of weapons-based and unarmed techniques for engaging in close combat across the spectrum of violence. Individual techniques can be combined into various procedures to fit the tactical situation. The MCMAP techniques in the following subparagraphs are key Marine Corps tactical concepts that are not standalone ideas, but are to be combined to achieve an effect that is greater than the separate sum. Achieving a decision, an indecisive fight across a loss of energy and possibly Marine lives. Whether the intent is to control an aggressor through restraint or defend themselves in war, Marines must have a clear purpose before engaging in close combat and act decisively once engaged. Gaining an advantage. A basic principle of martial arts is to use the aggressor's strength and momentum against him to gain more leverage than one's own muscles alone can generate, thereby gaining an advantage. Achieving surprise through deception or stealth can also greatly increase leverage. In close combat, Marines must exploit every advantage over an aggressor to ensure a successful outcome. This can include employing various weapons and close combat techniques that will present a dilemma to the aggressor. Speed. In close combat, the speed and violence of the attack against an aggressor provides Marines with a distinct advantage. Marines must know and understand the basics of close combat so that they can act instinctively with speed to execute close combat techniques. Adapting. Close combat can be characterized by chaos, friction, uncertainty, disorder, and rapid change. Each situation is a unique combination of shifting factors that cannot be controlled with precision or certainty. For example, a crowd-control mission may call for Marines to employ various techniques ranging from non-lethal restraint to more forceful applications. Marines who adapt quickly will have a significant advantage. Exploiting success. An aggressor will not typically surrender simply because he was placed at a disadvantage. Marines cannot be satisfied with gaining an advantage in a close combat situation. Marines must exploit any advantage aggressively and forcefully until an opportunity arises to completely dominate the aggressor. Marines must exploit success by using every advantage that can be gained. Tan belt. The tan belt is the first belt level in MCMAP, and it is, I'm adding words, and is the minimum basic requirement for all Marines. Tan belt training includes the introduction to the basic fundamentals of the mental, character, and physical disciplines of MCMAP, conducted during entry-level training. War fighting concepts, character values, and the basic fighting techniques that are required of a basically trained Marine are also included in tan belt training. In addition to MCMAP requirements, tan belt training and readiness events are also a component of Marine Corps' Common Skills Volume 1. That's another book, sounds like. Prerequisites, none. Excuse me. Training hours, minimum of 27.5 hours of instruction, including remedial practice time and testing. Fundamentals of the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. I'm just going to call it MECMAP. The MECMAP trains Marines how to execute unarmed and armed techniques in close proximity to another individual across a spectrum of violence within a continuum of force. Unarmed techniques include hand-to-hand combat and defense against handheld weapons. Armed techniques include techniques applied with table of organization weapons, edged weapons, or weapons of opportunity. Ranges of close combat engagements. There are three ranges in which close combat engagements can take place: long range, mid range, and close range. In any engagement, these ranges can rapidly transition from one to another and then back again until the aggressor is defeated or the situation is handled. At long range, the distance between combatants allows engagement with the rifle and bayonet or weapons of opportunity. At mid range, the distance between combatants is such that they can engage each other with knives, punches, or kicks. At close range, the distance between combatants is such that they can grab a hold of each other and may involve elbow and knee strikes and grappling. Target areas of the body. During close combat engagements, the parts of the aggressor's body that are readily accessible will vary with each situation and throughout the confrontation. The goal is to attack. Let me move this out the way. The goal is to attack the areas that are readily accessible. These target areas are the head, neck, torso, groin, and extremities. Head. The vulnerable regions of the head are the eyes, temple, nose, ears, and jaw. Massive damage to the skull can kill an aggressor. And then we got the target areas of the body on the pictures. Neck. The entire neck is vulnerable as it contains vital blood vessels, the trachea, and the upper portion of the spine. Torso. The clavicle, ribs, solar plexus, spine, and internal organs are all vulnerable. Whoops, I'm adding another word. Are vulnerable to attack. Groin. This is a very sensitive area. Extremities. Significant damage to joints and structure can cause immobilization or loss of the use of that limb. Weapons of the body. The weapons of the body are divided into two groups: the arms, to include the hands, forearms, and elbows, and the legs, to include the knees, shins, instep, toe, heel, and the ball of the foot. Basic warrior stance. The basic warrior stance provides the foundation for all movements and techniques in a close combat situation using the feet, hands, elbows, and chin. Feet apart. Place the feet shoulder width apart. Take a half step forward with the left foot and turn the hips and shoulders at approximately a 45-degree angle. Distribute your weight evenly by bending the knees slightly and adjusting your feet in order to maintain your balance. Hands up. Loosen your fists and bring your hands up to chin level or high enough to protect the head without obstructing your vision. Elbows in. Tuck your elbows in close to your body, protecting the torso. Chin down. Tuck your chin down, taking advantage of the natural protection provided by the shoulders. Angles of movement. The purpose of movement is to take control of the confrontation and retain a tactical advantage. Movement is necessary because it makes the different target areas of the aggressor's body accessible, enables the use of different weapons of your body, increases power and maximum momentum. When facing an aggressor, movement is made at approximately 45-degree angles to either side of the aggressor. Moving at a 45-degree angle is the best way to avoid an aggressor's strike and put yourself in the best position to attack an aggressor using all of your weapons of the body. Since mix-map techniques are initiated from the basic warrior stance shown in figure 2.2, is that down here? You must know how to move in all directions while maintaining your stance. During any movement, the legs and feet should never cross. Once a movement is completed, you should return to the basic warrior stance. This will help to protect yourself and to put you in the proper position for launching an attack against an aggressor. So they got you. They got an image going here, putting the left foot forward. See how the feet are shoulder width apart, and putting the hands up. Elbows aren't tucked in right here though. Anyway, all movement is initiated by footwork as shown in figure 2-3. Move the first foot that is closest to the direction of movement. Take a 12 to 15 inch step with the first foot, moving your head and body simultaneously. The second foot will rapidly follow the first foot and return to the basic warrior stance, always in your movement, oriented on the aggressor. Okay, so got this diagram showing when you step back, you step to the right, step to the left, backwards right, backward left, step to the right, step to the left. So it has a person starting in the center, and then you move to all these different directions. Angles of the diagram. Punches. Punches are used to stun the aggressor or to set him up for follow-up on techniques. It is important to note that while we do not endorse punching in a combative engagement, it is understood that punching is a reflexive behavior. It is important to train in a way that maximizes the damage inflicted upon the aggressor and minimizes the damage to you. And it says refer to Appendix A for corresponding safeties 1, 2, 3, and 4. Muscle relaxation. During instruction on punches, muscle relaxation must be emphasized at all times. The natural tendency during an engagement is to tense up, which results in rapid fatigue and decreased power generation. The person who can remain relaxed during an engagement will generate greater speed, which results in greater power. Relaxing your forearm generates speed and improves reaction time. Clench your fist at the point of impact in order to cause damage to the aggressor and avoid injury to your wrist and hand. What's happening, Power Play for Real? Welcome, welcome. Making a fist. Punches are executed using the basic fist. When making the basic fist, curl the fingers naturally into the palm of the hand and place the thumb across the index and middle fingers. Do not clench the fist until movement has begun. This increases muscular tension in the forearm and decreases speed and reaction time. Just before impact, apply muscular tension to the hand and forearm to reduce injury to you and maximize damage to the aggressor. Contact with the fist should be made with the first two knuckles of the index finger. Talking about these knuckles right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe I'll zoom in. Just so you know, these two fingers right here. And your thumb is under the knuckles here to help prevent it from breaking. You know, if you punch somebody with your fist, your thumb out like this, or your thumb out here on the top of the knuckles, you can break it, right? Now the way when they're talking about the muscular tension or whatever, if you just when you make a fist, just uh, tighten the skin. You know, like when you make that fist, just try to tighten the skin. Make the skin tight when you hit the person. Right. That's what they're talking about here when they um I mean, in case you didn't get it. When they say what is that part? Increase muscular tension in the forearm. If you when you increase the muscular tension, it's tightening. The way I learned it was tighten the skin. That's the way I learned it. Anyway, contact with the fist should be made with the first two knuckles of the index finger. We said that already. Okay. When striking with the basic fist, it is important that the first two knuckles are in line with the wrist to avoid injury to the wrist. So here it's got a straight line, and over here saying no, right? Don't do it like that. Striking surface. Weight transfer is used to generate power in the punch. This is accomplished by rotating the hips and shoulders into the attack, moving your body mass forward or backwards in a straight line, dropping your body weight into an aggressor. Your body's mass can be transferred into an attack from high to low or from low to high. Rapid retraction. When delivering a punch, rapid retraction of the fist will prevent the aggressor from being able to grab your hand or arm. That's, just pulling your fist back fast. Once your hand has made contact with the primary target area, quickly return to the basic warrior stance. Rapid retraction enables you to protect yourself from your aggressor's counterattack by returning your hand and arm to the basic warrior stance. This technique permits the hand and arm to be chambered or placed in the most ideal position for a follow-on, which prepares you to deliver a subsequent punch. Telegraphing. Telegraphing a strike informs your aggressor that your intentions are to launch an attack through your body movements. Often, an untrained fighter will telegraph his intention to attack by drawing his hand back in view of his aggressor, changing facial expressions, tensing neck muscles, or twitching. These movements, however small, immediately indicate an attack is about to be delivered. If your aggressor is a trained fighter, he may be able to evade a counterattack. If your aggressor is an untrained fighter, he may be able to minimize the effect of your attack. Staying relaxed helps to reduce telegraphing. Lead hand punch. The lead hand punch is a snapping straight punch executed by the forward or the lead hand. It is a fast, unexpected punch designed to stun an aggressor and to set up for follow-on techniques. A lead hand punch, a lead hand punch conceals movement and allows you to get close to the aggressor. If possible, lead hand punches should strike soft tissue areas. Striking surface. The striking surface is the first two knuckles of the fist. Target areas of the body. Soft tissue areas such as the nose, the jaw, and the throat are the primary target areas. Technique. Assume the basic warrior stance. Snap your lead hand out to nearly a full extension while rotating your palm to the deck. Do not the deck is the floor. The Marine Corps always refers to the floor as the deck. Some stuff they inherited from being on ships. Do not overextend your elbow because this can cause an injury due to the hyperextension of the joint. Keep your rear hand in place to protect your head. Retract your hand rapidly, returning to the basic warrior stance. The fist will travel out and back in a straight line. A mistake that is commonly made is pulling back low and then resetting, which will leave you open to a counterpunch. Rear hand punch. The rear hand punch is a snapping punch that is executed by the rear hand. This is a power punch that is designed to inflict the maximum damage on your aggressor. The power comes from pushing off of your rear leg while rotating your hips and shoulders. Striking surface. The striking surface is the first two knuckles of the fist. Target areas of the body. Soft tissues are areas such as the nose, the jaw, and the throat are the primary target areas. Technique. Assume the basic warrior stance. Rotate your hips and shoulders forcefully toward the aggressor and thrust your rear hand straight out, palm down to nearly full extension. Shift your body weight to your lead foot while pushing off on the ball of your rear foot. Your rear heel may raise or flare off the deck. Keep your lead hand in place to protect your head. Make contact on the aggressor with the first two knuckles of your fist. Rapidly return the basic warrior stance. The fist travels out and back in the straight line. A common mistake is to pull back low and then reset. This is incorrect and leaves you open to a counterattack. Uppercut. The uppercut is a powerful punch originating below the aggressor's line of vision. It is executed in an upward motion traveling up the center line of the aggressor's body. It is delivered in close and usually follows a preparatory strike that leaves the primary target area unprotected. When delivered to the chin or jaw, the uppercut can render an aggressor unconscious, cause extensive damage to the neck, or sever the tongue. Striking surface. The striking surface is the first two knuckles of the fist. Target areas of the body. Soft tissue areas such as the nose, the jaw, and the throat are the primary target areas of the body. Technique. Assume the basic warrior stance. Rotate your fist so that your palm is facing you. Ensure that your lead hand stays up and in place to protect your head. Power is generated from low to high. Start with your body weight low, legs slightly bent. Explode upwards with your legs, hips, and shoulders. Drive your fist straight up through the primary target area. Rapidly retract your hand and return to the basic warrior stance. Your fist should never drop below chest level or rise above the aggressor's head when executing this punch to the primary target area of the jaw. A common mistake is to drop the hand all the way to your waist during the execution of the punch, which is incorrect. This execution is used in an effort to get all the power from the arm that is executing the punch. Its power derives from the use of the lower body. A hook. The hook is a powerful punch that is executed close in and is usually preceded by a preparatory strike. Striking surface. The striking surface is the first two knuckles of the fist. Target areas of the body. When delivered to the chin or jaw, the hook can render an aggressor unconscious or cause extensive damage to the neck. When delivered to the body, it can cause pain, shortness of breath, and even break ribs. Technique. Assume the basic warrior stance. Rotate your rear fist. This will parallel your fist and forearm to the deck. Power is generated from side to side by driving with your legs while rotating your hips and shoulders. Your body's rotation drives the fist through your primary target area, making contact with the first two knuckles of the fist as your lead hand stays up and in place to protect your head. Rapidly retract your hand and return to the basic warrior stance. A common mistake is to extend the fist all the way out in an effort to get all the power from the arm that is executing the punch, which is incorrect. The power derives from the use of the legs and rotation of the upper body. Actions of the aggressor. The aggressor should hold the striking pad tight to the body to avoid injury to his own hands or arms. The striking pad should be held in position so that the person who is punching connects in the center of it. This is the striking pad here. Lead and rear hand punches. The striking pad is held with one arm through the center straps and the other upholding the top strap, protecting the head as shown in figure 2-10. While you execute the punches, the aggressor stands directly in front of you holding the striking pad. Uppercut. The striking pad is held with one arm through the center straps and the other upholding the top strap. The aggressor will extend his hand holding the top of the striking pad, creating a horizontal striking surface so that you can execute the uppercut. Hook. The striking pad is held the same as when executing the lead and rear hand punches. The difference is that the aggressor will turn 90 degrees to the side of the incoming hook. Break falls. Now, this right here is very important to learn break falls because a lot of time, well, let's see what they say before I go for it. The purpose of break falls is to reduce the chance of injury. Break falls are used to absorb the impact of you should fall or if you should fall or are thrown. This will allow you to quickly get back on your feet and minimize any injury sustained by the fall. It's telling you guys what I was going to say. This section will cover the front break fall, back break fall, left right side break fall, and the forward shoulder roll. Front break fall. A front break fall is executed to break your fall when falling forward and will never be executed from the standing position during training. Technique. The front break fall is taught and practiced in stages from the deck and from kneeling position. The front break fall is never executed from the standing position. From the deck. Begin by laying on the deck on your stomach. Place your forearms and palms flat on the deck and with your elbows bent and your chest and head raised off of the deck. Raise your head and neck so that you are looking straight ahead. Determine the proper hand placement that will allow your forearms and palms to support your upper torso and keep your head off the deck. Proper hand and forearm placement will disperse the impact of the fall and help to keep your head from hitting the deck. Practice by raising the forearm and slapping the deck with fingers extended and joined. From a kneeling position, assume a 2-knee kneeling position and look up, raising your chin. Bend your elbows and close to your body and place your palms facing away from you in the position that will allow you to disperse the impact of the fall. Fall forward, breaking your fall with your forearms and palms. The forearms and palms should strike the deck simultaneously. Fingers will be extended and joined. Keep your head up to avoid striking your chin on the deck. So there's how you're supposed to look, and you're supposed to fall to the floor, keeping your head up so you don't hit the floor with your chin. See that? Back break fall. A back break fall is executed to break the fall when being thrown or falling backwards, and will never be executed from the standing position during training. The back break fall is taught and practiced in stages from the deck and from a squatting position. Technique. The back break fall is taught in stages from the deck and from a squatting position. From the deck. Begin by laying on the deck on your back as shown in figure 213, which is probably next. Place your arms at approximately a 45-degree angle downward, out, and away from your body with your palms down. Tuck in your chin. Offer resistance with your arms to raise your head, neck, and shoulders of the deck. Determine proper arm placement that allows you to keep your head off the deck. Proper arm placement will disperse the impact of the fall. Once proper arm placement is determined, cross your hands in an X in front of your chest. Tuck in your chin to keep your head up off the deck. Bend your knees to raise them off the deck. Swing your arms out and slap the deck, making contact from your forearms to your palms. The forearms and the meaty portion of the palms down to the fingertips should strike the deck simultaneously. Your fingers and thumb will be extended and joined. Offer resistance with your arms to raise your head, neck, and shoulders off the deck. Practice this step as many times as necessary to ensure proper arm placement to break the fall. From a squatting position, squat down on the balls of your feet, tuck your chin in, and cross your arms in front of your torso, palms facing you, with fingers and thumb extended and joined. Roll backwards without pushing off or straightening your legs, keeping your chin tucked to protect your head from the impact. Slap the deck with both extended arms and palms to help disperse the impact. Contact between the deck and your torso and arms should happen simultaneously, and your arms should form a 45-degree angle to your body. Keeping your head off of the deck will protect your neck and spinal column from injury. Practice this step as many times as necessary to properly break the fall. A side break fall. A side break fall is executed to break your fall if you should fall on your side. Technique. It is difficult to execute a break fall in training because you have to be thrown in order to execute the break fall properly. However, this would create a potentially hazardous condition. The break fall will be taught and practiced in stages from the deck, from a squatting position, and from a standing position, written for right side, reverse sides for the left. What time is it? Okay, so it's 10:37, and let's see what we got left here. So this is the side break fall. I need to drink some water. Water. Okay. Place your right arm, palm facing down at 45-degree angle out and away from your body. Raise your head and neck by tucking your chin and tilting your head up away from the deck. Oh, sorry. Begin by laying on the deck on your right side. Your right leg should be straight and your left leg should be bent with your foot flat on the deck. Place your right arm palm facing down at a 45-degree angle out and away from your body. Raise your head and neck by tucking your chin and tilting your head up away from the deck. Bring your right arm across your body so that your hand is next to your left shoulder with your palm facing inward. With your right arm, slap the deck, making contact from your shoulder or forearm down to your hand. Tuck your chin and keep your head raised off the deck. Determine the proper arm placement that allows you to keep your head off the deck. Proper arm placement will disperse the impact of the fall. Practice this step as many times as necessary to determine proper arm placement. I'm sitting here reading this to you like you should be doing this. You definitely should have. I do believe that you should have a someone with you as a guide to help you get through some of this. We're just going to continue down, see what else they got going on. Okay, here, bayonet techniques. When executing bayonet techniques, the rifle is held in a modified basic warrior stance. All movement begins and ends with the basic warrior stance. Grab the pistol grip with your right hand. Keep your trigger finger off the trigger and include it in the grip. While it is possible to execute these bayonet techniques while gripping the buttstock of the weapon, use of the pistol grip allows greater generation of force. These are lethal offensive techniques that can be used in conjunction with assault fire movement. The smaller the buttock grip is used in non-lethal situations. How you doing, Zaylin? Zaylin says, I actually started boxing in Muay Thai January this year, seeing a world of improvement. Excellent, excellent. I highly recommend that anyone that's watching, definitely do that. Try to get into some type of mixed martial arts fighting or something. Muay Thai is good. And if you learn how to box, so you can really use your hands pretty good. But try to get involved in some type of martial arts training that is outside of the tournament style of training. Okay, because a lot of the martial arts studios, so to speak, people call them dojos, and I forgot what the other damn name is. I forgot what the kung fu name for the dojo is, but I believe it's called a dojo in karate. But anyway, the place where they train martial arts, you want to be sure to find out if it's a tournament style martial arts. If it's the tournament style martial arts, that's not the martial arts you want to learn, okay? Because that martial arts is based on rules, and like when you watch, if you watch the Karate Kid, right? In the Karate Kid, they make it seem as if the tournament martial arts is the same type of martial arts that you can use for self-defense. The self-defense martial arts can be used in tournament martial arts, right? But you still got to know the rules. But like I said, some places they just teach you based on, they teaching you based on trying to win a tournament, not trying to defend yourself. So you want to make sure that wherever you go, you're learning a style that's going to help you defend yourself, in the real world, which is the streets, where there are no rules, right? Most people, when you're fighting, there are no rules if you're fighting in the streets. But anyway, yeah. So let's see. The small of the buttstock grip is used in non-lethal situations. With the left hand, grab the hand guards of the rifle underhanded, Lock the buttstock of the rifle against the hip with the right forearm. Keep movements of the bayonet blade within a box, shoulder width across from your neck. And I want to say, um, I don't get anything out of it, but if you do have a firearm, if you have a a rifle, or if you have handguns, and you want to go somewhere to get some training, if you're in Texas, I highly recommend Tactical Carl. I believe it's called Stevenson's Tactical Training. I follow him on Instagram, and he appears to be someone that knows what he's talking about. Very thorough in the training that he offers. But yeah, so it says the straight thrust is the most deadly offensive technique because it will cause the most trauma to an aggressor and is the primary offensive bayonet technique. The straight thrust is used to disable or kill an aggressor. Targets of the body. The primary target areas of the body are the aggressor's throat, groin, and face. The aggressor's chest and stomach are also excellent target areas if he is not protected by body armor or combat equipment. Technique. From the modified basic warrior stance, step forward with your lead leg driving off the ball of your rear foot. At the same time, thrust the blade end of the weapon directly toward the aggressor by thrusting both hands forward. Retract the weapon and return to the basic warrior stance by stepping forward with the rear foot. And it's got horizontal butt stock, butt stroke. The butt stroke is used to weaken an aggressor's defenses, to cause serious injury, or to set him up for a killing blow. It is best executed after a thrust, but should always be followed by a slash and a thrust. We'll zoom past this bayonet stuff here. This is all tan. This is all tan belt. The slash. Let's keep on going. I'm gonna go down. See what else they got. Upper body strikes. The purpose of upper body strikes is to stun the aggressor or to set him up for a follow-up finishing technique. Strikes are unarmed individual striking techniques that are performed with the arms and legs as personal weapons. The hands, forearms, and elbows are individual weapons of the arms and can be used to execute strikes, including the hammer fist, knife hand, shin jab, eye gouge, and elbow strikes. These strikes provide a variety of techniques that can be used in any type of close combat encounter. Principles. Regardless of the strike, there are several principles of execution that ensure its effectiveness. Generating power. In executing an effective strike, it is important to generate maximum power through waist transfer. Rotate the hips and shoulders into the attack. Move your body mass straight forward or backwards in a straight line. Drop your body weight into an aggressor. Body mass can be transferred into an attack from high to low and from low to high. Muscular tension. There should be muscular tension in the hand and forearm at the moment of impact to maximize damage to the aggressor and to avoid injury to your hand. The arms are relaxed until the moment of impact. Follow through. A strike should be delivered so that the weapon, such as the hand or the elbow, hits and remains on the impact target and follows through the target. This technique will inflict maximum damage to the aggressor. Strikes with the arms are executed with heavy hands, which means that the strike is executed by driving through with the strike to allow the weight of the hand to go through the primary target area of the body. Contact on an aggressor should be made with the arm slightly bent. The arm extends as it moves through the target. Using this technique, strikes do not have to be executed at full force to be effective. Movement. Your movement will put you in the proper position for launching an attack against your aggressor, as well as to help protect yourself. Movement is initiated from the basic warrior stance and ends with returning to the basic warrior stance. Each strike can be performed with either the left or right arm, depending upon your angle of attack, the position of the aggressor, the available vulnerable target areas exposed on the aggressor. Target areas of the body. For each strike, there are target areas on the body: abdominals, ribs, kidneys, chest, and head. A strike to these areas can cause maximum damage to an aggressor. Strikes use gross motor skills as opposed to fine motor skills. The target areas of the body are just that, areas. Pinpoint accuracy on a specific nerve is not needed for the strike to be effective. Hammer fist. Striking with the hammer fist concentrates power in a small part of the hand, which, when transferred to the target, can have a devastating effect. Striking surface. The striking surface of the hammer fist is the meaty portion of the hand below the little finger. Target areas of the body. The primary target areas of the body on the arm and leg joints, are the arm and leg joints, the neck, the head, the ribs, and the kidneys. Angles of attack. The hammer fist can be thrown horizontally or vertically. When thrown horizontally, the hammer fist strike gets its power from hip and shoulder rotation. When thrown vertically, the hammer fist strike comes straight down in a straight line and gets its power from dropping your weight into the aggressor by bending the knees and transferring your weight from high to low. Technique. From the basic warrior stance, make a fist. Retract your right hand so that your fist is next to your face and neck. Your arm is bent at approximately 45 to 90-degree angle. Simultaneously rotate your right hip and right shoulder backwards. Thrust your fist forward onto the aggressor while rotating your right hip and shoulder forward. Taking a drink. Rotate your wrist so that the hammer fist makes contact on the aggressor. Contact should be made with the meaty portion of your hand below the little finger. Follow through the primary target area with your fist. Return to the basic warrior stance. Eye gouge. The eye gouge is used to attack the aggressor's eyes, blinding him so follow-up strikes can be executed. The striking surface is the tips of the fingers and thumb. The strike can be executed by either lead or rear hand. Target area. The primary target area is the eye. Technique. From the basic warrior stance, extend your left hand with your fingers slightly spread apart to allow entry into the eye sockets. With the palm of your hand either toward the deck or toward the sky, thrust your left hand forward into the aggressor's eyes. Thrust your hand forward at the aggressor's nose level so that your fingers can slide naturally into the grooves of his eye sockets. When striking toward the nose, there is a better chance the fingers will slide up and into the eye sockets. Vertical elbow strike. Elbow strikes in general are close range weapons that inflict a great amount of damage due to leverage and the transfer of your body weight. Striking surface. The striking surface is 2 inches above or below the point of the elbow. Depending upon your angle of attack, the aggressor's attack angle and the position of the aggressor. Target area of the body. The chin is the primary target of the vertical elbow strike, high to low. Angles of attack. Elbow strikes can be performed from a variety of angles, vertically, low to high, or high to low, and horizontally, forward or to the rear. Technique. From the basic warrior stance, bend your right elbow. Yes, it is a lot of constructive information. Keeping your fist close to your body. Your fist is at shoulder level and your elbow is next to your torso. Thrust your elbow vertically upward toward the aggressor, keeping your elbow bent through the movement. Rotate your right shoulder and hip forward and drive up with your legs to generate power. Make contact on the aggressor with your right forearm 2 inches above the point of the elbow. Return to the basic warrior stance. Okay, y'all. That's it for me right now. I'm wrapping it up. This is we're still into the tan belt area. It's looks like actions of the aggressor. The striking pad should always. So now they're just telling you where the striking pad should be so that you can practice these fist moves, practice the eye gouge and the elbow strike and the lower body strikes, vertical knee strike, front kick, front kick is used to stop the aggressor's forward momentum or to set him up for follow-on techniques when the aggressor is in front of you. You don't be just trying to throw no kick. Round kick, vertical stomp. Okay. Yeah, it's got a lot of constructive information here. And then look, next comes the chokes. So I'm gonna let's see. Vertical knee strike, lower body strikes. I'm going to leave it right here at the lower body strike. That's page 55. And tomorrow, I may be running late. I got a brief meeting I got to go to tomorrow, so I may start a little after 2:00. I won't know for sure, but just giving you a heads up in case 2:00 comes around. You're looking forward to seeing me, and I'm not on yet. But I, probably be on if I'm not on at 2, then definitely 2:30. And we'll continue this. We'll continue this manual. Now, before I go, I wanted to talk about something else. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Cori Bush. I never heard of her before, but apparently she is a senator. Says Cori Bush says U.S. faces growing far-right white supremacist movement. And is this the video? I want to show this video. I want y'all to see this real quick. It's important. It's really important that when we practice the code, those of us who, practice the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept, a lot of us, we know that, when you call if you call someone a racist or you call someone a white supremacist and they haven't admitted it, generally you're going to have to prove that they're a racist white supremacist. You're going to have to prove that they are racist, right? If they challenge you on it, right? And logically speaking, that looks like it's impossible to do so far. Okay. Unless that person is just going to go ahead and admit it. But anyway, just listen to what she says. Can I make this full screen? I can.
Today, and the corporations they represent, St. Louis has 11 more 90-degree days per year than when I was born. Mr. Lawler, are the overwhelming majority of fossil fuel CEOs black or white?
No, I don't have the exact numbers, but I would assume they're white.
Yes. Ms. Watkins, is an oil refinery more likely to be situated in a black community or a white community?
I'm not sure how to answer that, honestly. We've got oil refineries along the U.S. Gulf Coast, and we're very proud to be community members there.
It's black. Yeah, it's black. Mr. Wirt, are the impacts of climate change more likely to hit a black neighborhood or a white neighborhood first?
Congresswoman, I have not seen studies that would allow me to give you
The answer is black. The facts are clear. A 2017 NAACP and Clean Air Task Force report found that Black Americans are 75% more likely to live next to company, industrial, and service facilities that directly harm us. For years, you all have continued to promote fossil fuels despite knowing that promoting them means promoting environmental racism and violence in Black and brown communities. You all are still promoting and selling fossil fuels that are killing millions of people. This is a striking example of white supremacy. Your profit-driven choices threaten my life, the lives of my family, my neighbors, and our communities every single day. I sit before you as a Black congresswoman with asthma caused by fossil fuels and the tear gas you fund. I have a lot of questions, let me say. Today.
Okay, so I found that interesting. Oh, how can I get this to stop here? I found that interesting because the area that I grew up in, Richmond, California, has a refinery, a Chevron refinery. And it's not far from us at all. It's predominantly, it's mostly non-white people that live around that area. And I remember a lot of the cases, the asthma, cancer, a lot of diseases that people caught just from being around those refineries. But I would, if I highly suggest that you refer, if you're a victim of white supremacy, that you refer to white people in a system of racism, white supremacy as racist suspects. If they're a white person and they have the ability to practice racism, and that means, using the tools of racism, which is deception and violence. You should call, sticking with the code, the 10 stops, stop name calling. You call everybody the name that they want to be called. You don't call anybody a name that they don't want to be called. But referring to them as racist suspects is a lot more, I think, more constructive than just outright calling them a racist white supremacist. But anyway, I you know, I thought this whole thing was interesting, and I did try to look. I looks like I lost the link that I had. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. This link shows the major refineries. Like it lists the top 11. Says the largest petroleum refining companies in the United States. And then down here it lists the largest petroleum refineries in the United States. Now, I don't know if they're all in areas where there's mostly non-white people. I had looked, what was the other thing I looked up? I think I put in let's do map of refineries in the US. Look, US oil refineries. Oh, we got Refinery Watch. That might even be better. Okay. So I don't know if she did a. Oh, it sounded like she quoted the NAACP. So maybe you have to go look at that. But this, just looking at this, it doesn't list all the Wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see. All right, because this is the area that was my habitat. And just by looking at this map, I can tell you, oh yeah, see, it doesn't even list it doesn't even show the major refinery. This map, there is a major refinery right here in this area. Major Chevron. Very interesting. Let's see. Huh, they don't even have Chevron listed on here. Refinery name. Look, we know Houston it's got predominantly black people in it. There's a refinery, Houston refining. I don't know what the hell this. I don't know what this refinery report. So list this refinery here. I know this refinery. This area right here. There's a lot of black people here. This city right here, this little town right here called Rodeo. There's a group of apartments in here where there's a lot of black people. And yeah, I wonder why it doesn't show. There is a major refinery here. Let's see if we can zoom in and see the yeah, you can see even though it's not listed, you can see that this is a major refinery right here. See right here. All these oil drums or whatever, but they don't have it listed here. But this is a major refinery, and this is in Richmond. Oh, there it is. It's not marked, but Chevron refinery, huge. And all this area now, right here in Point Richmond, there's a lot of white people that stay in this area. Some black people stay here, but this area right here, this is all most everybody here. It's just non-white people, you know, black and brown people in this area here, and all of it, just all of this. And whenever they would mess up, like they'd have, I stayed in this area for like over 20 years, and they would always have some kind of chemical explosion or something. And I remember the air just, the air, we'd be playing outside, and the air would be, it would be hard to, it'd be hard to breathe, because a lot of times the accidents they would have, it would put the smell of sulfur in the air, like rotten eggs. It would just smell like rotten eggs, like really bad, right? And it was like that for years. Nobody ever gave us any warnings or nothing. Now they have a warning system. So anytime they have an accident, they have these sirens, they go off, and you know, they'll send something on television telling everybody to shelter in place. But I really found it interesting that she mentioned that. And so I'm gonna go on over here, because I know Houston. I saw Houston on there, and I know Houston is, a lot of my viewers are from Houston. My offspring stays in Houston. Let's see here. I have some offspring that stays in Houston too. So we're gonna go. San Antonio. Oh, there's Houston. So we got Exxon Mobil. Oh yeah, look at that refinery. Got all of that. Oh yeah, it's a gang of refineries in Houston. Very, very, very interesting. So I wanted to show that, and then the other thing I wanted to show was this. Apparently LeBron James was talking on his podcast the other day about the racism he said he experienced from Boston. He said the when he played against the Celtics, that people would throw things at him, and call him derogatory names and stuff like that. And so I was, trying to research that, and I found this: in progressive Massachusetts, a long history of white supremacy, which is, where Boston is. So, well, what was the thing I wanted to show you? It was the one main thing I wanted to show you in this. Oh, here it is. So here's the Klan. So in the 80s, the Ku Klux Klan was pretty strong again. They were marching all over the country at the time in the 80s. And it just seems like there's a surge of white supremacist groups again. Like something about, like, I guess this group here is this group right here with the masks on is the Nationalist Social Club. And they say that the Patriot Front is a white supremacist organization. But here it said by 1925, the Ku Klux Klan had more than 130,000 members in Massachusetts, according to the research from historian Mark Paul Richard. And Worcester had become a focus of Klan activity, which took aim at Catholic and Jewish immigrants, as well as Black people. Let's see if this, oh, here we go. Historical Journal of Massachusetts. Not a Catholic nation, the Ku Klux Klan confronts New England in the 1920s. So we got a book here on this. Gives us some details about the Ku Klux in Massachusetts. Oh yeah, this is when they marched on Washington. I understand that Tariq Nasheed is supposed to be calling a march together or something. They're gonna march on these same streets that the Klan marched on. Maybe, I don't know. What the hell do I know? All right, that's it. Just wanted to throw that in the mix. And you know, I after reading that manifesto, Peyton Gendron's manifesto, I just really think that I need to stress more that the need for self-defense. You know, Black people, non-white people, you really need to learn as much as you can about self-defense. And you know, that's what I'm gonna try to demonstrate that on my channel more. Self-defense. This is another manual. I showed the Marine Corps manual, but this is the Army. The Army has a manual also called Combatives. So you know, maybe we'll go over that one day too. But yes, on Sunday, I'll continue to go over this one and some other stuff. We won't spend all Sunday on this manual. We'll talk. We'll throw some other stuff in there too. Okay, so thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Put the new music on. This is just the music for today anyway. But good night.